Guys, Deluded, YouTube's N'Golo Kante. I'm back again. Thank you very much for tuning in and rocking with Deluded, man. You guys know I'm the best at this thing. But I was thinking about it. We're many years ahead. In fact, it probably will never happen in my lifetime. But Belgium. Now, many people think that's just one country. It's actually more or less two countries in two countries in one. Sorry, I'm not an expert and I don't want to be getting into technicalities. But more or less, two different regions, one speaking Flemish and one speaking another language. I can't remember if it was, pardon me, I believe it was French. Forgive me if I've got it wrong. But the relevance to this video, why I'm making this video, is because you regularly hear both sides opposing, trying to get them recognized as two different nations, trying to both sides do their own thing rather than being a collective. So if that was to happen, what would happen to Belgium's national team? Would they become two? Like, would there be Flemish speaking Belgium and Dutch speaking Belgium? I'm not too sure. Like, even if you look at the far rights once upon a time were winning elections in post to try and get this thing done. In fact, I'm so sure many moons ago there was a referendum in the sense where there wasn't even a government at one point in Belgium because of this. So yeah, they speak. So even if you think about that and you look at it a bit deeper, I mean, many of the players, from what I've read, speak in English at press conferences or do press conferences in many different languages, like companies done and Vermaelen did in 2014. And obviously, if they speak two different languages or people speak in different languages on a general basis or in one team, then what does that mean for communication? I'd like to know. Martin, obviously, Henri's French, but what is Martin speaking Flemish or Dutch or German? Like, what is the language that is used in the dressing room? Because it can't be one as a whole, because I don't think all of them players speak all languages on a general basis. I probably Lukaku, probably maybe Lukaku, Company, and a couple others, but I don't think they all do. Because even if you look at Hazard and Kevin De Bruyne are two quality players. One's from the French side in Hazard, one's from the Flemish side in Kevin De Bruyne. You saw how they both played together at the World Cup. In fact, how the whole of Belgium played at a World Cup and got a lot of plaudits. Imagine they were split into two nations. Like, it all depends. And even if you look at some players that are there via immigration as well, so how would it all be defined? Because again, I don't know all of it, but is one side more patriotic than the other? Would the other have different rules? The others might say we only want national based players. You have to be of Belgian descent. I don't know. Back on the language thing, like obviously. People get mocked for speaking, sounding like a freshie or sounding not being able to speak English. I think that's stupid, because someone that can speak two languages is a madness. But depending on what you're trying to say, if you say it in a different language, or it can get lost in translation, or if not lost in translation, it can lose its meaning as well, or the exact impact of the message you're trying to deliver. So what is the unified language? I would probably say, if I had to make a guess, that they've got to be speaking in English purely to avoid any negative connotations of you're putting Flemish ahead of French, or you're putting French ahead of Flemish and things like that. If they speak in English, no media can write any stories and things like that. But you've got to wonder, like, let's just imagine there's a three-man midfield of Nagolan, I can't say his name, Fellaini, and Kevin De Bruyne. Let's just say both two people, Kevin and Thingy, N'Golan speaks Flemish, and one speaks French. Obviously, your mother tongue, your instance when football's playing, you might say pass, but you might say in a language they might not necessarily understand. They might recognize you speaking Flemish, but we don't understand what you're on about, or vice versa. Like, surely got to get lost in translation. I don't think the players are alienating themselves and being sectioned of some people in different regions. But once upon a time for Belgium, that must have happened. Again, with the way the far right's going, not just in Belgium, but you look at Germany, you look at the UK, you look at Austria, you look at many countries. The possibility of Belgium splitting into two different nations is a very high one. Probably won't happen in my lifetime. So you're looking like probably in the next 100 years. But in the way the world is going, you never know. Because who would have thought Trump would have been president and all of these sort of things, and Leicester winning the league and all of these sort of things. Not that has any relevance. Then you've also, I can't mention Belgium and then not mention a united career of sorts, in the sense of the north and the south. You see relations are slowly being mended. Possibility one day that it's just one unified career again. So what would that mean? Clearly the South Korea have the better players, but Kim Jong Un, dictator, I don't know what would happen in that regard. People even say Switzerland could split into two. I haven't done enough research to be speaking in depth, but if people said Switzerland was to split into, what would happen then? And I'm sure there might be many more nations and many more countries and whatnot that say different things. I mean, we once had Serbia and Montenegro as a nation. You now have Montenegro and Serbia as two different recognized football clubs, nations. Do you get it? And there was, even if we look at the hell of all of them, the Balkan regions. At one point, it was Yugoslavia in that. Now you've got all different nations. So the way the world's going, you never know. But I don't think I'll see this in my lifetime, people. But yeah, man, there's nothing more to say on that front, guys. Deluded. Get in a comment, subscribe, and do the rest if you wish. I'm out.